There we go. We give esteem, honor, and praise to the Most High Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua this day. I'm gonna get one of you brothers to try to help me figure out how to download this stuff off this thing, because it's really getting on my last nerve. You know what I'm saying? But before we proceed, Exodus chapter 12, verse 34. Not 34, 44. Exodus 12 and 44. I'm going to get straight on to the point. Ain't got no time to play with. I'm going to tell y'all something, because we were talking about this last night, right? I might not even go that long. I might jam pack a lot in a little bit of time. So, bear with me. We were talking about this last night, right? You know what I'm saying? If I can get to the verse in a timely manner, maybe we can do something. Actually, it's verse 37 that we're going to begin with. But I'll use 33, 12, and 33. So last night, right, you know, we were talking, man, you know, and we were feeling like this here, like, hey, these niggas going to probably start flexing on us. And like I just told everybody, so, well, at least Lee and Kira, before everybody came around here, right? Like, when it get real, it's going to be your own people that sell you out. That's why I put that John 16 in there, because y'all need to remember that this man told you this. Because when we're going to look at something, right, when we came up out of Egypt, we came up out of mixed multitude. And we're going to have to sit back and look at what that means about a mixed multitude. And we're going to look at these sons of Belial. Because I'm telling y'all, it's all like, okay, for a while, it's always key, hey, boy, this person don't, oh, okay, what the case may be. But now it's finna start getting real out here. Like, really, really real. To where these niggas' lives gonna be threatened, and these niggas is gonna turn you in and kill you. And you need to understand and know that. You know what I'm saying? Will hit me last night, he was like, hey, he was thinking upon this here. See, for me, it's been a lot easier, because I done came to terms and come to peace with it. I'm gonna die violent death for about 20 years. You know what I'm saying? For about 20 years. 20 years, you know what I'm saying? I've been content with that. Just like I told y'all, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, you know what? It might not be good for me to even, like, getting married, that can't be good for me. Because I know these people are going to slaughter me. You know what I'm saying? And if the thought of being murdered, or being killed violently, or being tortured, or being beheaded, all that stuff scare you, it's time to go ahead and fold the tent up. Because you're not cut out for this. You're not cut out for it. If you've been reading this book all the time, all these time you've been hearing this word, and you ain't seen how all these righteous men have died and died violently. I ain't say every last one of them, but died violently. Abel, violent death. You know what I'm saying? The prophet Zechariah, violent death. Stephen, violent death. The master, violent death. You know what I'm saying? Abner, violent death. Amasa, violent death. You know what I'm saying? You could go for days. What about the prophets Jezebel were killing? Where Obadiah had to hide them 50 a cave. Violent deaths. Violently. Violently. If that scares you, you're not cut out for this. If you don't trust in Yahuwah enough to lay your life down spiritually, you're not going to do it physically, and you're going to sell a nigga out. Now, we know Yahuwah ain't going to get rid of no sellout nigga. He going to let you behind stay right there, because somebody got to go to hell. Somebody got to fulfill the book. Now, we're going to look at a few things this evening. Maybe I'll touch on it a little bit. Maybe I won't. But I'll say this here. I'm going to keep reiterating. I don't trust old pick and choose type nigga. A pick and choose type nigga is a wicked bastard. If a nigga tell you he pick and choose what he gonna do out of the book, you need to stay away from a nigga like that. Because that's a nigga who don't actually believe the book. And that nigga is dangerous and volatile. And I ain't even talking about to your soul. I'm talking about to your life, period. Because when it get really real out here, that nigga gonna deny the master and he gonna turn you in. You can bet that. That nigga gonna save his life before he help you. And it's going to be somebody you thought was your best friend and loved you and cared about you. But because y'all didn't have a mutual belief and a love for the same person, which is Yahuwah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, that faggot nigga is going to turn the script on you. Don't you realize a pick and choose type nigga is a fake nigga? How you trust a fake nigga? A pick and choose nigga is a fake nigga. Ain't nothing real about them. Because they do things that suit their desire at the time. That means they're a chameleon. They change colors to fit the scene. You gotta watch a nigga like that. You can't trust a nigga like that. That's real now. Think it's a game or think I'm just talking. You can't trust a nigga like that. That's a phony nigga. Because they being phony with Elohim. So you know they can be phony with you. How you trust a nigga that can lie and be phony with God and think they ain't gonna be lying and be phony with you? Real talk now. If you can pick and choose what you're going to do out this book, you's a fake nigga. Ain't nothing real about you. Because you saying, I know this wrong, I'm going to do it anyway. I can do this right here. Ain't no problem. Ain't a real bone in your body, man. If you can vibe like that, I'm telling you now. And they'll disguise themselves like they real now. It's only so long fake thugs can pretend. Exodus 12 and 34. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading troughs being browned up in their clothes upon their shoulders. I'm going to look at something right there. Hold on. Hold on. He said they took their kneading troughs and put it on their shoulders, say for the bread was leaving. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what he say. I just want to look at this kneading trough. And when it says, like it says it's mishareth, it's a kneading trough or a bowl. And say in which the dough rises or a store. But then you notice they say they bound their clothes up and they put it on their shoulder. Okay. Put it on their shoulder. What does it sound like to you? Took the bread, put the kneading trough, and put it upon their shoulder.
What's kneading trough? That's one of them.
Yeah, bowl. You got to take that steak. Absolutely. If we sit back and we look at the master saying, take, eat, this is my body. And this was the bread before it was leaving. You know what I'm saying? That's what it said right here. But the people took their dough before it was leaving. Look at 1 Corinthians 5 and 7 real fast. I'm telling you now, you gotta watch a nigga. You gotta watch old pick and choose nigga now. Y'all don't realize them pick and choose niggas in the wilderness got murdered. Five and 7. Make it 5 and 6. Make it 5 and 4. In the name of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach, when you are gathered together in my Ruach with the power of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach, to deliver such as one unto Ashatan for the destruction of the flesh, that the Ruach may be saved in the day of the Master Yahushua. Your esteeming is not good. Know ye not that a little leaveneth the whole lump. See, just sit back and look at it, right? All that praise Yah, blessed be Yah, hallelujah. That stuff don't mean nothing when you got a little bit of sin in you. It's gonna make the whole thing. It's gonna make the whole thing leave. You're gonna be sinful all the way around. You break one law, you broke them all. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what that's telling you. A little bit of sin is gonna kill you. You can't dibble and dabble with it. He say, purge out therefore the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Mashiach, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Now come on back to Exodus chapter 12. Now I said they took this dough was leaving. Before it was leaving, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. Now you sit back and look at it. The master told you to take this steak and put it upon your shoulder, to crucify yourself, to die to the sin. Don't even let this dough get leaving. Because as soon as you let it get leaving, you got to be put to death. Now you understand something? The master never let that dough got leaving. No sin ever touched it. Just so we can make that clear, I want you to look at Hebrews 4 and 12. Make it 4 and 13. Ain't no leaven ever touched his when he put that kneading trough on his shoulders. Say bound up on his clothes, that means he put it on his body. Bound up that flesh, put it right there on his shoulder. sacrificed it, crucified it. That's what we had to turn around and do. Hebrews 4 and 12. 4 and 13, my apologies. I'll read 4 and 12, it ain't gonna hurt none. Did any of y'all gentlemen see about that video that the dude recalled for gathering of Christ did against that white dude? Did any of y'all see that? Troy, any of y'all seen that? Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Obviously not. It's pretty funny though. For the word of Elohim is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and ruach, and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of whom we have to do. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into Shamahim, Yahushua the son of Elohim, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Now you got to understand something, right? The master got taken into Egypt again with ships, correct? Somebody help me out. Did not the master go into Egypt again with ships? So if he went into Egypt again with ships, right? And it sit back and tell you that this man is not he's not without being touched with our infirmities, like as we are, yet without sin. You have to sit back and look at it. He coming up out of the jailhouse. He's coming up out of Egypt, just like we came up out of Egypt. He is unleavened bread because he has not sinned. So that dough, he's coming up out of there, and the dough ain't been leaving. And when you see him putting that steak or that treat on his shoulder, he doing the same thing. He coming up out of Egypt in the same way with unleavened bread and all this stuff bound up in his clothes and put on his shoulder. All of this on the stake, right there, kneading trough, all that. It's all that he carrying all that out with him. And what that was sitting back showing us is sitting back showing how we would carry our burdens out, or he would carry them for us. But we have to give them up to him. Now we sit back and we also see how we ought to sacrifice ourselves to him. Then when we turn around and sacrifice ourselves to him, it's quite natural. We wouldn't have no problem dying for him. We wouldn't have no problem dying for him. A lot of reasons why people fall off from the word is because they didn't really have that trust and hope in Yahuwah like they were supposed to from the jump street. The number one key thing to unlock all things, whether it's understanding, whether it's wisdom, whatever it is, the Ruach HaKodesh, whatever it is that you desire from Yahuwah, the many gifts, the many things, that the riches that he has to offer and to give, is faith is the basic root of all of it. You can't get any of it without that amunah, that undying, unwavering conviction and firmness in the man's word. How many of you can sit back and honestly say, I believe this man on the strength of his word because he said it? You know what I'm saying? Like I literally believe that because you said it. Even if I don't even understand what you talking about, I still believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all got a friend or a family member, maybe even your spouse, who you believe everything they say because they said it because you consider the source. But these niggas sit back and look at it because they ain't seen Yahuwah. They don't believe him. It's just words written on a page. A man wrote it. Hold this Exodus chapter 12 and look at 2 Peter 2, 1 and 19. They say a man wrote it to keep you under control. The same man who don't follow it. Why would I write a book and I don't even follow it? I want to control everybody with something I don't follow. That make a lot of sense, man. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Second Peter 1 and 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that you take heed. As a light that shine in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation, for the prophecy came not in the old time by the will of man, but Kadesh men of Elohim spake as they were moved by the Ruach HaKodesh. See, a nigga sit back and be like, well, see, a man wrote that. That's why I say that. But then you notice that he said prophecy, things that have come to pass that no man can speak. A nigga so dumb, they think the word came when you came into slavery. That's how dumb niggas is. A nigga will blame Yahuwah because they don't understand the word. So then somebody had to play with it. Nigga got every reason whatsoever not to put that kneading trough on their shoulder. Look at Luke 9 and 23. Nigga got every reason in the world not to put that kneading trough on their shoulder. Man, I gotta be like that. I ain't familiar with that book yet. Taking too long to find places. Luke 9 and 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake daily and follow me. You have to realize if you're going to come after the master, you got to lose yourself. You get Psalms 50 and 3 to go behind this. If you're going to follow the master, you got to lose yourself. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man's advantage if he gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away? That's why he told you not to love the world. That's the same thing happened with Adam and Eve in the garden. That's what happened with Eve. She sat back to save herself, so she lost herself. She gained the whole world and lost herself and was cast away. She gained the whole world. It said it's one to make one wise and all this. I gained everything I wanted. Everything I thought would make me happy and feel good, and lost your soul and was cast away. Why do you think Satan came and offered the master the whole world? Why do you think this man come offering you what you want when you in a moment of weakness? So you can gain everything you want, but you're going to lose your life though. What was that really worth? See, we look for a temporary gratification which can lead to eternal damnation. Because it's going to feel good for the present, but you're going to burn forever because you got what you wanted. Which in actuality, you got what you wanted because eternal life was not what you wanted. The way of Yahuwah is the way of sacrifice, which we're going to see tomorrow, on the morrow, Psalm 50 and 3. It's a way of sacrifice. Because when we look at these words tomorrow, but sacrifice, you're going to see this stuff wasn't talking about no bulls and goats. This man ain't never want no bulls and goats. He wanted you. Man ain't want no bulls and goats. The man said, a body I had prepared for you. Want no bulls and goats? He said, our Elohim shall come and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to Shamahim from above and to the Arats, that he may judge his people. Now what you think this means? He said he shall call to Shamahim and above and to the Arats. Look at 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13 when he tell you he going to call to the Arats. He going to judge his people. John 11 and 25 behind it. All because you did one thing. When you came up out of sin, before the dough got leaving, you put it on your shoulder. You sat back and look at when you came out of bondage, when you came and you were to be born to live in Yahushua HaMashiach, you put sin away and you carried that stake on your shoulder every day. He said, let us have the same mind that was in Yahushua HaMashiach, that he suffered in the flesh. He that suffered in the flesh ceased from sin, that he should no longer live the rest of his times to the lust of the flesh and the will of men, but to the will of Elohim. How you say you a sanctified Kadeshim living to the lust of your flesh? How can you dare say you please Elohim and you please your flesh, showing that you cannot please Elohim, because the flesh is enmity to the law of Elohim. It's not subject to it, neither indeed can be. You wonder why you can't keep the word, because you carnal. Y'all can't do nothing with nobody with no carnal mind. He don't have a carnal mind. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. Also also, everybody, it would be very, very helpful if everyone would be very, very prompt tomorrow. We have very, 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 very many words to look through. Quite a few, to say the least. But I would not have you be ignorant, brethren. This is 1 Thessalonians 4:13. Concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also with sleeping Yahushua will Elohim bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of of the Master, that which we are alive and remain until the coming of the Master shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Master himself shall descend from Shamahim with a shout, the voice of the Ark Malachim, and with the trump of Elohim, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first. So when we turn around and we come back to Psalms 50 and we see that he said he'll give a shout to judge his people. I want you to look at this John 11 and 25, because you see that he said he'll give this shout from Shamahim above into the Aras that he may judge his people. And you sit back and you look at it when we read verse 5. This is talking about the resurrection of the dead and bringing together the body. Because you got to remember, if it's the shout, that take you back to the law with memorial blowing the trumpets. The blowing the trumpet to gather together the assembly at the door. So what we're actually looking at is, this is what we're actually looking at to make it very, very plain. What did I just ask you? John 11 and 25. What we're looking at is this. When we're looking at them coming up out of Egypt, before the bread had a chance to rise and be leaving. You're sitting back looking at, you're coming out of bondage. You're coming out of sin, and you no longer allow sin to manifest itself again. He said, if we've been immersed in the death of Yahushua HaMashiach, should we sin? Elohim forbid. He that is dead to sin, live to sin no more. You walk in newness of life. And it's sitting here saying, when you got this kneading trough on your shoulder, it's giving you the reminder of taking this stake with you and crucifying yourself daily. Dying to your flesh daily, denying yourself daily, resisting the flesh daily. That means don't worry about, oh, I need to stop sinning for 6 months straight. Just get through the 24th of June. And when you get through the 24th of June, then get through the 25th of June. And then deal with the 26th. And then deal with the 27th. And then deal with the 28th. Just take it one day at a time. Your life ain't but a vapor. And get your Matthew chapter 6 behind this John 11, 25, since I said take it one day at a time. (11 and 25 of John, Yachanan. Here we go. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believe in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whosoever live and believe in me shall never die. Believe thou this. Do you believe that? If you believe and live in him. Look at the key thing. He's telling you about the righteous obedience of faith right here. If you live and you believe in him, you will never die. You know why you'll never die? Because you've already died. You've already given your life up. So you'll gain it. So that's one of the reasons why the Master was able to die to the flesh, literally die, because he was already dead. There was nothing that they could do to him. He was already dead. Because he was dead to sin in the world. It had no effect on him. He wasn't moved by it. We have to turn around and have that same mind frame. We need to sit back and realize every day we come out the house, we supposed to sit back and look at, I got that dough that ain't been leaked, that ain't been leavened, that ain't rose on my kneading trough, on my shoulder. I'm coming up out of bondage, carrying this on my shoulder. The same way the Master came up out of that prison, carrying that bread, unleavened, on his shoulder, with that steak on his shoulder. Doing the same thing. Like, this ain't pointing to, oh man, the Master came out of Egypt just like we did. No, that's not what this is about. This ain't about showing no similitude of the Master coming out of Egypt like you came up out of Egypt. It's showing you how you got to have a body free from sin and deny yourself from sin as you come out of sin. This is what that's about. That's what we're actually talking about. We're literally talking about a sacrifice, a self-denial, self-restriction, self-discipline. This right here will cause you to be gathered. This right here will cause you to live forever. The only way you would be able to do that is because you believe. People don't do it because they don't believe. If you believe, you can do this easily because it's in your heart to do it. I told Will and Troy this last night. I'm going to say this again so everybody can hear. Yah said he predestinated you to the adoption of children that you should walk before him blameless and Kadesh in love. Yah said, before I knew thee, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and I sanctified you unto the nations. Yah said that you were saved and beloved of him because of sanctification of the Ruach and belief in the truth from the beginning of the world. So saying all that to say this, if it's in you, Yah already put it in you. And the minute the word hits your ears, it get activated. And you move on it. Does that mean you'll be converted the next day? No, that ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if it's in you, you ain't got no choice but to do it. It's going to get activated at the hearing of the word. But if it ain't in you, you're going to struggle, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, and you're going to get broke. Hello? Shalom. If it ain't in you, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, and you're going to get broke. If it's in you, if you a soldier, if Yah made you to be a soldier, it's in you. If Yah made you to be a preacher, it's in you. If Yah made you to serve, it's in you. If Yah gave you a word of song, it's in you. If Yah gave you a word of wisdom, it's in you. If he gave you a ruach of discerning, it's in you. Telling you now, it's in you. If he gave you a ruach to be a pick and choose nigga, old fake, phony, flogging, false servant nigga, loving him with your lips, but your heart far from him, that's exactly what you're going to do. Remember, it's vessels fitted unto wrath and it's vessels fitted unto mercy. Vessels fitted unto mercy were fitted aforetime that he could sit back, that his mercy might be shown in them. And then vessels of wrath was made so his power might be known. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. You feel me? I don't even remember what I wanted after this Psalms chapter 6.
You said Matthew, I believe.
Thank you, sir. Matthew chapter 6. I appreciate you.
Matthew 6.
Yes, sir. This about bear with me because I'm tired, y'all. I'm running on fumes. But y'all willing, we gonna get through it. Y'all just bear with me, man. I'm just tired, y'all. Matthew 6, right? And about verse 33. Make it 31.
Excuse me.
6 and 31.
I'm in trouble.
Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewith shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your Father in Shamahim know that you have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto day is the evil thereof. This is why I'm telling y'all, don't get caught up on, I need to be clean, I got to get clean, just get through the day without sinning. Then Most High willing, and you see the next day, get through the next day without sinning. Just take it one day at a time. If you take it one day at a time, before you look up, you'll have 90 days where you didn't sin. And 120 days where you didn't sin. But the whole key thing of what's going to stop you from sinning is you got to believe. If you don't believe, it's not going to stop you. Eventually you're going to sin because you really don't believe in what you're doing. Your lust will overpower you because your lusts are greater than your faith. You got to remember that now. If you believe, you won't sin. Because you'll despise it just like your daddy do. But if you don't believe, you still have an affinity to sin like your daddy do. I'm talking about Satan. And you're going to follow your daddy and you're going to do what your daddy do. It's simple as that. Back to Psalm chapter 50. Oh, good grief. We have verse 3, verse 4. He shall call the Shamahim from above, and to the Arastim he may judge his people. Well, you got to sit back and realize, if you get resurrected from the dead, that's your judgment. Since I said that, Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
Hey, little man, hush up.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stand for the children of thy people.
No, don't give him that.
And there shall be a time of trouble such as was never since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book. Now let me put a place marker here for this Psalm chapter 50. And I'm serious about this too now. Now if y'all don't take it up on the offer and I go to moving on, don't come saying nothing later. Because everybody get one topic and make them count. Make them count. Now if you don't take me up on the offer, that's on you. Don't come back around later and be like, oh man, can you do this here? When it will put out there for you. Because I know it's stuff that y'all that be gendering questions on, whatever it be gendering questions on, whatever they come across, whatever you be meditating on, reading, think about, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets one though. Everybody gets one. Now some of y'all know it's some stuff we done hit strictly because somebody asked about something. I ain't talking about asking me about no verse now. You can ask about a verse, but don't spend it though. And I'm not saying that you can't never ask about a topic and it won't never get hit again. But what I'm saying is take advantage of that. Make it count. Now you know most people say, what's most of y'all familiar with when they say it's Michael that's standing up? What most of y'all familiar with when you hear that? Because you know some people say this ain't the master, this is Michael gonna do this. And I believe we done talked about this before, but nevertheless, we'll bring it to your remembrance if anybody forgot. Now we know that Mikael means he who is like Elohim. So basically what we see is, and at that time, he who is like Elohim shall stand up. The great prince. Well, just for edification's sake, we need to establish who this great prince is. So let's look in the Torah. And let's look at Bereshit of Genesis 32 and 28. And then Acts chapter 5 and verse 31. And Daniel and Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 4. I ain't gonna get into detail about that debate. I said, well, I guess the most I worked it out like this here. The dude Rakah from Gathering of Christ Church, very well-known dude among Hebrew Israelites, whatever the case may be. He had a debate with some white man, and it was the master God, which you know a lot of Hebrews don't believe. They believe it's a Christian concept to say that he is God. So the dude had him on there. And I think he was crashing him out of the New Testament with this particular topic. But he wanted to use a majority of information from church fathers like St. Augustine and a whole bunch of white people that we don't care about. And the thing that I noticed that this white man did not want to do is deal with the book. He wanted to deal with what man said versus what the book said. And I want y'all to keep in remembrance of what Colossians 2 and 8 says. That don't be moved by the rudiments of the world and not the doctrine of Mashiach. Because the rudiments of the world or the teaching of the world, the lust of the... See, you got to be careful of this world because this world is going to pull at you from so many different directions. The world wants you to pick and choose how you serve your Elohim because this world is phony and fake. This world ain't nothing but an illusion. Have you living in a fantasy world? Having you living in a construct that is not of reality? Have you seeking things that are not reality? Therefore, you get caught up in their unreality and become phony and fake like the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? See, brothers get mad. They say, oh, since I don't believe like you believe, now you don't mess with me no more. Yeah, I got to treat you like a heathen man. Oh, that's divide and conquer. Call it what you want to. That's what my Elohim stand for. He told me not to fool with silly niggas like you. That's what he told me not to do. So what you think I'm going to do? I just heard this buster nigga say the same thing that buster nigga we had on the phone said. Oh, the book say if your child rebel you should kill him. Why would you do that to your child? You wicked bastard. Nigga sitting back showing a nigga who don't want to take consequence for his action. Nigga, that's what I'm sitting back telling y'all. That's a prime example. Hello. So, this is a prime example of what I was talking about before I got started. You can tell you cannot pretend to believe in this book for too long. You can't pretend to be righteous for too long. You can't. Because eventually it's going to show how wicked you are. The number one way where niggas show their wickedness is they hate correction, shaming, and discipline. They hate it. Wicked people hate it. Don't shame me, don't correct me, don't rebuke me, don't discipline me, don't chastise. They hate it. They hate it. And that's what Yahuwah is about. That's why they hate him. So it's only so long they gonna pretend. Now these two niggas, one nigga on the phone, both these niggas said it to me. So I can't even try to put it like this. Both these old raggedy, no good whole niggas said it. You know what I'm talking about? And when I say that there, because that's effeminate, that's a coward move. Because our law say, if your son get out of pocket, kill him. And you ought to be the first one to put a rock upside his head. But it didn't say put a rock upside his head the first time he did it. Because you were trying to entreat him and be merciful unto him and bring him back. And he refused because he was stubborn. He said, if that's the case, you go ahead and kill him then. You go ahead and kill that nigga. Well, then you sit back and look at it like the dude said, so if an atheist said, the book says you ought to stone your child, what should you say? And then you hear this nigga turn around and say the same thing. The nigga is dead. But what you missing when you hear that statement is not just that they don't believe the book, but they don't like discipline and consequences for wrong actions. That's what they're telling you. The man told you by their fruit, you gonna know him. This man just told you by the fruit of his lips, I am a bastard because I despise chastisement and correction. All you gotta do, just don't be sitting there nodding. Listen to what niggas saying to you. Because that's what those two men said to us. I hate correction. I don't want it. I want to do what I want to do, and I don't feel like there should be consequences for it. That's a wicked nigga. That's a pick and choose nigga. That's a fake nigga. A nigga who pick and choose what they want to believe out this book and what they gonna do out this book is a fake nigga. Ain't nothing real about him. And if a nigga respect that, you fake too. I don't respect no fake nigga. Nigga can't tell me they pick and choose what they gonna do out this book. Nigga can't tell me they pick and choose what they believe out this book and think I'm gonna respect them. Nigga, you just told me you fake to my face. You know what a nigga say? That ain't what I'm saying. You add to my words. You twisted my words. No, nigga. You ain't got to spell it out for me. I can read in between the lines, nigga. I ain't fall off no turnip truck, nigga. I wasn't born yesterday, nigga. And do I look dumb? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to realize what people be saying to you. What they are really saying. Because that's what they're really saying. I'm fake. I'm phony. You with it? No, nigga, I ain't with it. Get from around me. I'm going to tell y'all something, right? When me and Will were talking to that brother in that parking lot, that brother knew we ain't believe what he believed. Just like we know he ain't believe what we believe. But one thing that all three of us knew about each other, ain't nobody fake and phony over here. Because what we say we believe, we standing on that. We ain't going to bend it for nobody. Not even ourselves. A man can respect that. See, most people don't respect what you're talking about because you bend it for them. So they can't. I done told y'all before. If a woman tell a man she deal with the word, she follow the word, and you say that it's wrong to have sex, and he sleep with you, he don't respect nothing you talking about, and you could never get that man to actually follow the word because he already know you done compromised it for him. So he know you'll compromise it for him again. On any level. A nigga don't respect that. Don't think that, I'm telling you, I don't know why women is that stupid to believe that. Boy, once this nigga done got you to go against your God for him, you ain't gonna never get that nigga to serve your God. He ain't never gonna do it. Because he don't respect that. He don't respect you. Because you ain't a woman of your word. You said I stand for this and you buckled on it for me, so I know you don't believe it. Vice versa for a man. You let a woman get you to go outside that word, she ain't respecting nothing you talking about. You'll never be able to lead her with no authority or power because she know you'll bend the word for her. She know you don't respect your God. She know you put me before your God. Man, nigga don't respect that. Male or female ain't gonna respect it. And you'll never get them to follow this book. I don't care how hard you try. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Why would they? You gotta make a nigga respect your faith. They gotta respect it. And that means you gotta stand on it. That means that kneading trough need to be right there on your shoulder with that bread that ain't been risen. That ain't got no leaven in it. It gotta be right there on your shoulder. You gotta carry it up out of Egypt, that kneading trough right on your shoulder. That's what you gotta do. Or they not gonna respect it. See, that's what me and Will were talking about last night now. These niggas gonna get mad at you for standing on the word. You niggas get scared when somebody get mad at you for standing on the word and you compromise it. Man, I don't care if a nigga don't like me, man. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. Boy, I'm riding with Yahuwah. Period. And a nigga just gonna have to be mad. Don't y'all realize what somebody really saying to you? Don't y'all realize what somebody really saying to you, man? When they trying to get you to go against your God? Do you realize what they really saying? When they getting you to go against your God? When they coming at you to get you to do that? Do you know the level of contempt and disrespect they have for you? Do you not realize you have been tried? They just tried you on a very, very high level. That's outright disrespect. And you should take it that way. You just told me I was a chump to my face. You just tried me with that? Really? You gonna try me like that? Nah, bro. It can't go down like that. Genesis 32 and 28. I'm just sitting there tell you, man, read in between the lines, man. Know what people saying to you without them saying it to you. Make it 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Yasharal. For as a prince thou hast power with Elohim and with men, and hast prevailed. Right here, he is like Elohim. We know we can take that back to Adam, but it says he who is like Elohim, the great prince, he will stand up. Why will he stand up? Because Deuteronomy 32 tell you when he see their power is shut up and gone. Let's look at Deuteronomy 32 for that then, since I said it. Especially since I'm talking about this nigga steady screaming, talking about y'all hide himself. Where is he at? Why he ain't showed himself? Why would he show himself to a wicked bastard like you? See, that's the problem, right? Because we had these dudes on the phone, right? 32 and 33. Make it 31. See, we had these dudes on the phone, right? And he got upset because the nigga was telling him like he blasphemed, he saying all this stuff. I'm like, bro, you wicked, bro. He was like, man, how could you call me wicked? How could you judge me and all this? Hey, man, you can try to scream it all you want, bro. You are wicked, sir.
I'm going to say, Isaiah 45:15.
Thank
you. Just did.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, Corey got it for me. I appreciate you, though.
Oh, Corey pulled it up. Pull that one up.
Yes, sir. I'm going to get to it. I appreciate you. That's what I have been talking about all week. You remember?
Oh, I ain't no Corey pulled up.
Yeah, but I appreciate both of you, though. It made no difference. As long as we got it found. I appreciate it. Because I've been looking for that all day. Couldn't remember where it was, save my own life. Say, for their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is as the vine of Sodom in the fields and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall, their clusters are bitter. That's why he tell you not to fool with these people. This man say they vine is as Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember Yahushua say, I'm the true vine. So there's two different vines. What manner of fruit are you bringing? Because he say their vine is as Sodom. So that means Satan people are perverse. I ain't saying they faggots now. All of them ain't gay. I'm just saying that means they perverse. They perverse. Sons of Belial. We're going to look at Belial and also Belial. Wicked niggas. You feel me? Listen what he say now. Their wine is as the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of ass. You see that? We talked about that wine last week, right? He said their wine is as the venom of an asp. A poison of dragons. Let's look at Hebrew about dragons. We should know what it's going to say. We should know it's going to say serpent. And when we say serpent, we sit back and we realize this that cup in Babylon's hand. When we look at the poison of dragons, this is something, when we look at poison, right, it's kamah. That means a hot displeasure, an indignation, anger, or wrath. Heat and rage. Heat and rage. And dragons, serpent. As we know, tanin. So now we sit back and we look at something now. He says their wine is as the heat or the wrath of the serpent. Well, let's look at that. Because I don't want to leave this unturned right now as my mind is circling right now. And let's look at Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. Well, we're holding Deuteronomy 32. And we're holding Acts 5 and 29. And we're holding Daniel chapter 12. As well as Exodus chapter 12, what we started with. So that's Exodus chapter 12, Daniel chapter 12, Deuteronomy 32, Psalms chapter 50. And we'll make them all and tie them all and finish it all out and continue on. We're going to Revelation 12 and 9. He said back and he's talking about the nations. He said the nation's wine is as the heat or the wrath of a serpent. Excuse me. Revelation 12 and 9 says, make it 7. And there was war in Shamahim, and Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought and his Malachim, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in Shamahim. And the great serpent was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim with them. Were cast out with him, pardon me. And I heard a loud voice saying in Shamahim, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of his Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Y'all got to realize something, right? Look what it said, what they overcame him with. Faith and the word. Righteous obedience of faith. That's what they overcame him with. Because the blood of the Lamb is taking you right back to Exodus chapter 12. We're putting the blood on the doorpost of your household, which was of faith. Taking you back to the master. To putting the blood of the master on the doorpost of your soul, which is of faith. The way to overcome is by the righteous obedience of faith. You can't get around that. This is why these niggas have no power, and this is why niggas fall off and quit, because they never believed in it. That's why a nigga can go back and go sleep with a woman. That's why a nigga can go get drunk and go get high. That's why he can go cuss. That's why he can go beat his meat. Because he never believed. It said Moses, because he believed, refused to be called Pharaoh's son and enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, but rather suffer the affliction with the children of Elohim, just like the master. The master was in Shamahim and refused to be called the son of Elohim. He said, I'll go suffer affliction with the children of Elohim. I'll go suffer with my people. Going back to what we were looking at in Hebrews chapter 4. That he has been touched by the infirmities just like you are. He became just like you are. And resisted it. And resisted it. To show us that we can do the same. To show us you need to take that unleavened bread, put it on your shoulder, in that kneading trough, and in your clothes, bound it up, carry it on your shoulder. Just like I did. He said, all things are naked unto him whom we have to do. That man sees straight through you. And the word is going to show what's in your heart so we can see straight through you. Because a lot of niggas is transparent. See straight through a nigga, man. Straight through you. Y'all better start listening to people when they talking to you about their word. And I'm telling you, man, after what I heard this week, y'all better watch a nigga who say he pick and choose what he do out of his book. You better certify, look that nigga in the face and tell him he wicked. You know what I'm saying? I don't get you get used. You's a wicked nigga. You's a wicked, and you phony. Y'all don't know how phony that is. That mean that's a nigga that pretend to be righteous, saying, professing they know Elohim, but denying the power thereof. Having a form of godliness, I should say, but denying the power thereof. That's fake. That's fake. You supposed to know that. That's fake. How we say we don't want fake people around us in life, but we cool with having people around us in the word, that's fake. You supposed to sit back and look at it. That nigga say he served y'all, but he don't believe the book. He do what he want to do in the book. That nigga's fake. Ain't nothing real about that. That mean that nigga will turn on you. That nigga will turn on you. Take us a game if you want to. He said, therefore rejoice, ye Shamahim, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the rats and of the sea. For the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, knowing that he hath but a short time. Now he said his wine is the heat or the wrath of the serpent. Well, let's look at, well, I'm not going to go pull it. Because we know in Revelation 14 and about verse 9 to 11, it talks about if you take the mark of the beast, that you'll be tormented forever and ever in fire and brimstone. We know Matthew 25 and about verse 41 say, he separated the sheep from the goats and told those on his left hand, depart in the everlasting fire, preparing for the devil and his malachim. Why? Because you drunk that cup of that mixed cup of that wine of Babylon, and now you done got mingled. Now you done disguised yourself as being righteous, but the whole time you didn't believe. You were a son of Belial. You were wicked. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention to that. Because he said the wheat and the tares look exactly the same. But the only way you can tell the difference between the wheat and the tare is when they fully grown, the fruit that it give. Because a tare ain't giving no fruit. A tare ain't giving nothing. Because it's a weed. It's got to be chopped up. A wicked nigga tell you you ain't bearing no fruit when they ain't even came close to producing none. Because they ain't never died. That's what a wicked nigga do. Come on back to Deuteronomy 32. That's why I said I just referenced a verse. I ain't going to read them all. Don't drink that mixed cup now. That whore Babylon got a mean cup. Who going to drink from it? Because you drink from it, you're done. Some are already drinking. That's why they staggering, but not with wine. Drunk, but not with strong drink. You're drunk off doctrines of devils. Verse 34. Is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. For Yahuwah shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants when he see that their power is gone and there is none shut up or left. One thing about it, that's talking about us as a whole, and that's talking us as individuals. When he see your power is gone and you done humbled yourself, he can come through for you. That's when he'll manifest and show himself for you. But you're going to have to be humbled first. That's why he say the great prince shall stand up for the children of thy people when there shall be a time of trouble, which we know that's the great tribulation that the master speak of. Because in that time, this people going to be humble. And your power going to be gone. And you'll have no choice but to look to him. So we have to sit back and look at certain situations the Most High put you in, so you'll turn around and look to him. But you know what a lot of people do? Look to a man. Not saying not to look to your brethren for strength, and not look to your brethren for comfort and compassion, but look to a man to deliver them out of that. And a lot of times they look to themselves. I'll just save myself. That's pride. And pride comes before destruction. Let's look at Acts chapter 5. And then we'll come back to Daniel chapter 12. Acts 5. I know I mentioned Isaiah 9 too. And 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered, we ought to obey Elohim rather than men. The Elohim of our fathers raised up Yahusha, whom you slew and hanged on a tree. Him have Elohim exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Yasharal and forgiveness of sins. And we are his witnesses of these things, and so is also the Ruach HaKodesh, which Elohim had given to them that obey him. And when they heard that, they were cut to their heart and took counsel to slay them. Ain't that something? When they heard the word cut them, they wanted to kill them, they despised them. See, Paul told you about that in 2 Timothy chapter 3, in the last days that perilous times would come, and people would be despisers of those that are good. Because we just talked about that this week. Last week, one of them days, he said, you'll justify the wicked and condemn the just. That's what they did. And that's what people still do. A nigga will justify a sinner, an unbeliever, and condemn the just. You don't think the people ain't gonna come kill you by that? You think they ain't gonna happen? A nigga justify a pick and choose nigga. I believe only this part of the book. I don't believe this part. Yeah, bro. Yeah. He preaching. He telling the truth. A man come up and stand for the righteousness of the word of Yahuwah by Hashem Yahusha. They condemn him. Brother, you trying to, man, you can't be coming at people like that, bro. Man, all this, that, man, nigga, whatever, nigga. You fulfilling the word. That man say you're an abomination to Yahuwah. These people were abominable to Yahuwah because they condemned the just to justify the wicked. They saying the devil is right. So they got to be drinking the wine of his wrath. Got to be drinking that heat. Drinking the wine of devils. Will we drink from the cup of the master or the cup of devils? I would not. You have fellowship with devils. Niggas having fellowship with devils, talking about they are Elohim. The dumbest thing you could ever say out your mouth. You not an Elohim having fellowship with devils. You communing with them, that means you're one with them. Can't walk with them unless you agree with them. How Kadeshim agree with a sinner? How is that possible? Now you saying Yahuwah agree with sin, dummy. You blaspheming. Oh, my bad. Man put that in the book. My bad. Man put that in the book to control us. My bad. I almost said something that was right, but I forgot man put that in there. Daniel chapter 12. Got this old faggot nigga on the phone the other day. Got this crazy nigga the same later on that night. What's wrong with these niggas, man? What about the people in Orlando? What about him? What if your son was gay? Nigga, I know I ain't raising no faggots. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no way in the world no son of mine come up wanting to wear dresses and kiss niggas in the mouth. Ain't no way in the world. He be reared up and so we ain't got that type of stuff in our bloodline. A pillow Bible? What? They got to sit back, boy, your son grow up gay, nigga. You check your bloodline, nigga. You probably got some other faggots in your line, nigga. Now you want to have a faggot in my line. Don't wish that evil on me, nigga. Daniel, tonight, look what he said in Daniel 12 and 1. I'm going to finish this up, right? Y'all know everybody written in the book. That should take your minds back to Psalms 139 that we dealt with. About all thy members are written in that book. Remember, if you predestinated to salvation, it's going to activate when you hear this word. Don't never get frustrated because certain things don't click when you want them to click. Sometimes all you just need to do is sit back and chill and just wait. You know what I'm saying? I done told y'all before, I read some stuff, man, I'll look at something and I'll be thinking on it. It don't come to my mind right then. I just wait. I don't even go back and read it or research it or even drive myself crazy about it. If Yahuwah see fit, he'll bring it to mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all that. Don't get frustrated now. Because stuff don't click when you want it to click. That don't mean there ain't nothing wrong with you. Sometimes just sit back and wait and just let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously if you're looking for it and it's frustrating you that you ain't catching it when you want to catch it, that means you're seeking after it. Man, y'all merciful, man. He let you get it. Especially if your heart, only if your heart is sincere. If your heart's sincere, he let you get it. He let you get it now. Believe that now. He let you get it now. Your heart's sincere. That man try the hearts. He know the hearts of all men. Remember, everybody is naked and open with the man whom we have to do. He know who you are on the inside. He know who believe and who don't. He know who looking for him and who ain't. He know who trust him and who don't. He know who love him and who don't. He know who hate him and who don't. He knows. And sometimes don't let your carnal mind or this world or certain things frustrate you to believing that you don't love him and you're not seeking him. The man knows. Some of y'all, he done manifested himself to you. Y'all just got to sit back. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Like I said, sometimes you just got to be still. Quiet your whole mind. Just be still. Quiet your whole mind. And you'll hear the voice of your Elohim speaking so distinctly and clearly that you'll know it's him every time he speaks after that. And when we know that's not him speaking, that's the Malachim speaking for him. You know what I'm saying? It's just the Ruach of Truth speaking for him. Which ain't no Malachim, because I don't want to say that there, because it's a congregation of Israelites that teach that. So let me make sure I clarify that, because the Ruach of Truth ain't no Malachim. You know what I'm saying? But if you just be still and quiet your mind, you hear the man talking to you. And when you hear the man talking to you, when you done quiet your mind and you done be still, you'll know it's him every time after that. Verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they shall turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Well, we know when we're talking about looking at verse 3 of the firmament, you're going to be laid down to the foundation. You're going to be in New Jerusalem with your master. You know the stars are the sons of Elohim, sons of Mashiach, shining bright. I know I mentioned Isaiah chapter 9, but you know he said he'll be a prince in Isaiah 9, so we ain't got to get it. If a nigga think I'm lying, let him go read Isaiah 9 and 6 for themselves. But let's look at this everlasting shame and contempt. And let's go back to Psalms chapter 50. Because this is why we came to Daniel chapter 12. Because we were looking at him calling from Shamahim above and they harassed that he may judge his people. That's why we read Deuteronomy 32. Because he said when he see his people power is gone and shut up, then he will judge his people. He will render you your righteousness. Get Revelation 6 and 9 as well. Behind this after we read Psalm 50. Y'all have to sit back and realize this. See, we looked at something right about them loving their overcoming with the blood of the Lamb and not loving their lives even unto the death. The blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony. Overcoming through the righteous obedience of faith. Notice that the faith was first, then the obedience. The faith got to come before the obedience. If the obedience come and the faith come, don't work that way. Because you're not going to obey long because you don't believe. I'll read 50 and 4 again. He shall call to Shamahim from above unto the Arats that he may judge his people. Gather my Kadeshim together, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the Shamahim shall declare his righteousness, for Elohim is judge himself. Selah. Pause. Well, you know that because this is what this nigga said while we were on the phone. This nigga say, ain't no man coming to crack no sky. And what did nigga say, right? Because it seems so far-fetched. But a nigga don't want this man to crack the sky. Because it just said his righteousness will be, Shamahim will declare his righteousness, and he going to judge his people from Shamahim from above. Some of y'all I sung a song to you, right? Because I ran across the song. I ain't heard, my first time here it was today. I liked the record. It was called Crossover. I really liked the record. And the record, the brother talking about this man coming back to judge. We already read up in verse 2 of this same verse that a fire would devour before him. It would be tempestuous round about him. This man coming back with fire and a sword, and he's going to judge, and the slain of Yah shall be many. So don't you know a wicked nigga, a pick and chooser, a fake sinner, a charlatan ain't going to want this man to come back? So I'm going to tell you something about black people. We respect the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Black people love to scream about realness, but respect fake niggas. You know what I'm saying? We respect niggas who ain't. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you now. We scream about we love the real, but love fake niggas. Niggas who are not about none of the stuff that they claim. And the ones that are really about what they claim, we hate them. I'm telling you now. A nigga can have a real dude that's really about everything that he say and they know it and was around him day in and day out. And a fake nigga who can come up, who can pretend that they do the same stuff that this man who been in their face, but they'll offer things to appease their flesh or the things that they like to hear in their ears, and they'll follow that fake nigga and condemn that just one. I'm telling you, that's how we roll now. We did it to the master now. So don't think I'm just saying this here. That's book now. We don't like real people. We don't like people who are really about what they say they're about and stand on that. We actually don't like that. We like the nigga that talk it and don't walk it and pretend well. And we'll love him to death. And know the nigga phony, because we phony ourselves. Telling you now. It's time to separate the sheep from the goats, the men from the mice, the pit from the poodles. Which side of the fence you gonna be on? See, niggas get mad because you gotta draw the line. See, I'm going to draw the line. See, I'm a line drawer. I don't give two Londons. See, that's what nigga problem is. Niggas want to be friends with everybody. I can be friends with anybody. You ain't even got to believe what I believe. You all right with me. But I promise you, you not finna disrespect my father nor my king. You not finna do that. Because for me, far be it for me to defend Yahuwah as if he needed me to defend him. But for me, it's like you just tried them and they sit like this like I said, man, because I don't want to say it in no disrespectful term. My daddy is sitting right here. You just tried my daddy right here in my face. And I'm going to let that slide. This is my older brother, the eldest. Looked out for me my entire life. Gave me clothes to wear, meaning his ruach. Gave me food to eat, meaning his body. His word. You know what I'm saying? Stood up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself. You know what I'm talking about? Took my biggest enemy who I couldn't defeat, which is death, and beat him to a pulp. Did that for me. He didn't even have to do it. Seen this man picking on me, taking me down, and beat him to death. And I'm going to let you talk about him any kind of way. I bet you crazy. That's how I look at it. That's how you ought to look at it. This your brother. He said, the elder shall serve the younger. Your older brother said, I'm going to serve you. Even though I'm the eldest, I'm going to serve you. And I'm going to give you clothes to wear. And I'm going to give you food to eat. And I'm going to stand up and fight for you. When you get hurt, I'm the one going to put the Neosporin on the cut and put the Band-Aid on it to heal it. I'm the one that's going to do it. When you thirsty, I'm going to give you living water. And you think I'm gonna let a nigga triumph? You think I'm gonna let a nigga slide with that? Nigga got to be straight up retarded. Nigga got to be crazy in his scalp. Hold on. All right. Nigga got to be crazy in his scalp. You know what I'm saying? Out of his rabbit mind, you think I'm gonna let that slide? Why ain't letting that slide? I ain't letting that slide. Man, for me, it's like Yahuwah sitting right here, Yahushua sitting right there. You not finna talk about my family like that, bro. That's the same way. Can't nobody walk up, come talking greasy about y'all, and I'm gonna let that slide. What? Nigga, you ain't got, boy, you better watch your mouth, nigga. You can't talk about my people like that. Niggas, you insane? You know what I'm saying? That's not happening. Nigga, we could box about that. You know what I'm saying? We could box about that. Nigga say, oh man, you religious, bro. You religious. No, nigga, that's my people. Nigga, what you mean? What you mean? I'm riding for him, nigga. I'm riding for him. He riding for me. That's why I say, whole niggas. Whole niggas ain't gonna ride for their people, man. They gonna try to keep it peaceful. Nah, brother, it's okay, brother. You know, I understand. I ain't got no understanding, nigga. I don't understand nothing, nigga. You speaking Greek to me, nigga. You speaking a tongue I don't understand, nigga. I don't understand none of that what you talking about. I'm like that nigga on 40-year-old virgin, nigga. I take that as disrespect. You using all these big words, I don't know what they mean, nigga. I'm mad. I want to fight now. That's how I look at it. But I ain't gonna fight you with my bare hands. But y'all know you bet don't put your hands on me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I may not be responsible for what I do after that. Keep your hands to yourself. Because my instinct gonna be to snatch and grab you. You know what I'm talking about? And honestly try to choke the life out of you. But we can't do that. We can't operate like that. So we gonna just try to slash you with the word. That ain't work. We're gonna keep it peaceful and leave. Because y'all already knows, boy. It's certain people. Boy, I'm telling you, Control know what I'm talking about. How some of these niggas were talking. Boy, nigga ready to slap you niggas in the mouth. I'm going to tell y'all something before I keep going. Y'all would have heard Lil Stanley on the phone the other day. Well, Lil Stanley was ready to go. Boy, I promise you, he was ready to go. That nigga have been in trouble messing with Lil Stanley that day. Where we at? Where we hold? Exodus chapter 12. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 12. I ain't with it though. He ain't just finna be disrespecting my king and my daddy like that. My daddy didn't even raise me, and a nigga can't talk crazy about him. And I don't even know him like that. But you ain't finna size him though. Now if you telling the truth, I can't say nothing about it now. If it's the truth, I can't say nothing, but hey, shoot. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But if you just think you just finna take off and just be disrespectful and all that, oh, you finna do that. That's it. They can't disrespect my mama neither. You know what I'm talking about? But if you telling the truth, ain't nothing I can say now. If it's the truth, boy, I ain't finna fight you and you telling the truth. Now, I ain't finna argue with you, it's the truth. If it's the truth, it's the truth. The book tell you that you can't fight against the truth. Fight against the truth, you ain't doing nothing but fighting against yourself. That's retarded. Oh boy. Nigga breathing hard on that one. That was a deep one there. He got that from the diaphragm. Hey, what my chapter? Oh, that's right, because I'm in a different book. Come on back over here to 37. Well, we stopped at 35. I'll read 34 again, though. Exodus 12 and 34. And the people took their dough before it was leaving, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Yasharal did according to the word of Moses, and they bought of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And Yahuwah gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. And the children of Yasharal journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men besides children, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, flocks and herds, and even very much cattle. Now we're going to look at this word for mixed multitude. See, it was a mixed multitude that came out of there with them. So we're going to pull this word up for this mixed multitude. And that's what we're going to look at is this mixed multitude. And we got mixed, and it's a rab, and it's interwoven knitted material, or a mixture of people, or mixed company. Got some mixed company here. And obviously multitude is rob, and it just means great. A lot of people. Rob, I should say. A lot of people. Mixed company. Mixed company. Well, let's look at Matthew chapter 13 about this mixed company. And then we're going to look at something. We're going to look at something with the sons of Belial. But we're going to look at Leviticus chapter 12, 2 and verse 4. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work in this Isaiah 45 and 15. But I definitely appreciate the gentleman who, Brother Corey and Troy, for reminding me where it was at. So when I'm ready for it, I can work it in accordingly. Matthew chapter 13. and verse 36. We got to look at something with the sons of Belial. It's about 10:11. So let's see how long it's going to take. Then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and the disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the Malachim. As therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. Well, we're going to sit back and we're going to look at this law, and we're going to see that the wheats and the tares were right here with this mixed multitude. A mixture company, That means when they were coming up out of there, the sinners were able to mingle themselves together with the righteous. They were able to sit back and disguise themselves. They were able to interweave themselves in between. You weren't going to be able to tell the difference between the two. They looked identical. Let's look past it, the mixed multitude of just talking about, oh, it was Gentiles came up. Let's not look at it in that fashion. Let's look at exactly what it's talking about, a mixed company. When we look at wheat and tares, that's a mixed company. So I want y'all to look at something in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1. And if it's anybody that you know that fit this situation, because it just hit my head, I've been wanting to read it, y'all. Hello? Hello? I've been wanting to read this to y'all. Anybody that's in this situation or circumstance that you know of, that believe the word, or they surrounded by a type of individual like what we finna read, pray for them, that Yahuwah would make that move on their behalf. Listen what he say. Finally, brethren, pray for us, that the word of the master may have free course and be esteemed, even as it is with you, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. For all men have not faith. Now we're going to go back and look in the law, and we're going to see what it's talking about. Because you see, Moses was delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. You can turn around and you can see that with Abigail being delivered from Nabal, which is also a similitude of Yasharal being delivered from the scribes and the Pharisees in the hands of men and being delivered to the master. All men don't believe. If you think they do, you are the definition of an ingrate. Everybody does. Huh? What'd you say, Deidre?
No, don't listen to me. I just said tell me.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Everybody don't have faith. Everybody don't believe this book. Again, they show much love with their mouth, but the heart is far from me, going after their lusts. By their fruit you will know them. And I'm telling you again, with these two niggas I talked to this week, if a nigga tell you he picking and choosing what he do out this book, he don't believe, he fake, he phony, he flawed, he ain't real, he don't have faith, he wicked and unreasonable. And if you justify him, you ought to go to hell. Because we just watched niggas justify a wicked, unfaithful man. We've been watching them do it for 3 days. We've been watching niggas justify an unfaithful, wicked man for 2-3 months. This wicked bastard in the land. But everybody in Yasharal want to say, we shouldn't say that about each other, brother. We need to come together. No, nigga. That nigga wicked. Nigga just told me to my face, I'm fake, I'm phony, I'm flawed, I'm wicked, my daddy the devil, I love him to pieces. What you mean? Nigga, I don't respect that nigga. How am I gonna respect a nigga for telling me he fake? I don't believe all the book, bro. Just some of it. Nigga just told me he fake. I pick and choose what I believe, brother. Nigga, you fake, nigga. How am I gonna respect that? If you respect that, nigga, you fake. Just like I said before. You fake, nigga. That's why you respect it. The children of Yasharal, black people don't respect the real at all. They don't respect that. They want you to be fake because they fake. They feel more comfortable. That's why they hated the master. That's why he said they would hate you. He said, don't marvel if the world hates you. It's not you that it hates, it's me that it hates. Because I testify of that their deeds are evil. See, these niggas don't want you to testify that their deeds are evil. They the same niggas that be screaming, crucify him, give us Barabbas. Don't you realize when you roll with a nigga who fake it, he phony, he say he don't believe his book, you would be standing there talking about, we want Barabbas, let his blood be on his children's children. You bearing witness you they see. Y'all done heard this so many times before, and you ain't sitting back realizing, boy, that's me. Niggas be fulfilling the book, don't even know it. Niggas that be fulfilling the book, don't even know it. Come on, man. I'm going to read that to you again. Finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the master may have free course and be esteemed, even as it is with you, that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. For all men have not faith, but the master is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. Hold on. I got you, man. Come over here to 1 Samuel chapter 25, when we got his first son of Belial. Since he's looking at unreasonable and wicked men, the first unreasonable and wicked bastard you gonna see is Nabal. 1 Samuel 25 and 17. Make it 15. I'm going to read y'all. I got it written down. Let me spell it out for you. Belial. You can spell it B-E-L. That is B-E-L. I'm spelling it in what it would be spelled out in Hebrew. In English in Hebrew. It's spelled in English B-E-L-I-A-L. That is B-E-L-I-A-L. But then when we have here, then we have it B-E-L. That is B-E-L-I-Y. B-E-L-I-Y-A apostrophe A-L. It means worthless, good for nothing, unprofitable, a base fellow, wicked, ruin, and destruction. So if somebody is a son of, this is why the master say, what agreement does, this is why Paul said in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 about verse 14, maybe 15 or 16, what agreement does Mashiach have with Belial? What agreement does Yahuwah have with something that's worthless and good for nothing and unprofitable and base? Now how you say you are Yahuwah and you agree with that? Because the book say two can't walk together except they be agreed. So if you walk with a son of Belial, nigga, because you are worthless and good for nothing. Because Yahuwah ain't going to be joined to that. So how could we be joined to it? And a nigga talking about unify with him. Nigga, you got to be out your rabbit mind, nigga. Not unifying with no son of Belial. That's insane. That's a... let me stop. 1 Samuel 25. You don't want to be no son of Belial now. See, this is what I'm talking about. Niggas love sons of Belial. 1 Samuel 25 and 15. We don't need 15. I go straight to 17. Y'all you don't remember now, Nabal is his name and father is with him. The man's name literally means stupid. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master, against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. He's unreasonable. When we turn around looking at unreasonable, that means he's proud. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 6 about verse 16, then James chapter 5. So the first thing we can recognize with a son of Belial is you can't tell him nothing. Especially when it comes to their transgression and their error. They can't be corrected. If I can get to Proverbs 6 and 16, maybe we can have some action. These 6 things doth Yahuwah hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Whoa. It said that this man, you couldn't talk to him. Now we're looking at Abigail. Abigail gets delivered from this unreasonable man. He did not have faith. He didn't have it. How can you say you have faith and you could be cleaving to somebody who don't? Because that's what these niggas is out here asking us to do. I'm not cleaving to that, bro. In no shape, form, or fashion. I'm not cleaving to you as a friend. I wouldn't cleave to a woman that don't believe. I'm not cleaving to that. At all. You know what I'm saying? Because nigga, you gonna get me killed. Spiritually or physically. One way or another, I'm dying. One way or another, I'm dying. I also know I mentioned Revelation 6 and 9, but we ain't go around there to it, but that's okay. Because I was talking about them white robes. And that you should be killed just like your brethren was. Because they were asking how long will he be before he avenge their blood on the earth. See, I'm telling y'all something, man. This man getting us ready. Y'all got to understand something. Let me tell y'all how Yahuwah work. Because I don't think y'all really understand how Yahuwah work. Before Yahuwah make a move, he gets you ready for it before he do it. He just don't do stuff. Sometimes he do stuff suddenly and bring it to pass quickly. And sometimes he get your mind, you trying to get your mind right to get yourself spiritually prepared for what's finna come. Because they say, surely Yahuwah do nothing. He revealed his secret to his servants, the prophet. So when this man really he trying to get you ready. Because the time coming, first your own people gonna come for you. Then Mr. Charlie coming. Because Mr. Charlie gonna make league with your people who hate Elohim just like he do. And you got to be willing to die. And if you're not willing to die spiritually, you're not going to die physically. Just like we done read before I mentioned that in Hebrew 12. That man say he despised it. He say he endured the shame. He despised it. He say he looked at the joy set before him. Because I done already died. I already died. Because I put sin away. You better lose your life so you can save it. Stop trying to get everything you want, do everything you want, lose your life so you can live forever. Stop trying to get what you can't get what you want and save your soul, you idiot. That go against the book. What profit a man he gain the whole world and lose himself and get, you can't get everything in the world and save your soul. You're going to have to make a sacrifice with him. You're going to have to make a covenant by sacrifice. And you know what that covenant is? Death. A covenant has no effect lest there be a death of the testator. You better get that dope that's unleavened. Put it in your clothes and your kneading trough and put it on your shoulder and take it daily and follow the man. That's where the problem come in at. That's what we utterly refuse to do. Nobody wants to die. I'll tell you, man, I'm going to reiterate this again because me and Will talking about this here, man. Because he said he was sitting and said, I have to come to grips with this for 20 years. Yahuwah knows what's going to happen. I know not. But I am mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to die a violent death. And I've been prepared for this almost as long as some of y'all have been alive. Now, of course, I wasn't thinking about the word, but I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to die a violent death. You know what I'm saying? And the likelihood of them people coming to get me is probably very high. And 99.9% of the time, they're going to come at one of y'all to be able to take me then. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to sit back and realize on the flip side, if they come to get me, they're going to come to get you too. And are you going to be willing to die or go to jail for Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua? Not for me. She ain't going to jail for me. You going to jail for the master. You going to jail for Abba. You dying for the master. You dying for Abba. You're not dying for me. Because I didn't die and resurrect from the dead for you. I didn't do it. Y'all knows I wouldn't have did it. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit back and even sit here and tell you I would have went and died and had a contradiction of sinners against myself. I can't sit back and tell you I would have went and did that. I'd be lying. But thank Yah for Yahushua that he was willing to do it. That we might have access to the kingdom and eternal life through faith that is in his name. Hello? Hello? So because we have access to the kingdom and eternal life through the faith that is in his name, therefore we move and obey him. And we die, that we may live under Elohim and the Ruach. That's what y'all need to understand and realize, son. You got to remember that Psalms 139, verse 24 that we read the other day, a couple weeks ago. If there be any unrighteous thing in me, Father, purge it out and lead me in the way of everlasting. Sit back and ask the man if there's something in you that ain't right, for him to manifest it by his word so you can get it out. Because it ain't just going to be no magical thing make it go away. It ain't going to be no magical thing. He going to show you what's wrong. The word is like a mirror. It's like a mirror. He going to put it up to you. He going to show you got a booger in your nose. You got some broccoli in your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You got a stain on your shirt. His word going to show you what you need to get rid of. Then it's on you to do it. You get that stuff up out of you. You have a clean lab, his Ruach can dwell there. His word can dwell there and it will direct you. Come and tell y'all something, man. I know a couple of y'all done expressed it openly recently. And probably the rest of y'all just trying to discern when your Elohim is speaking with you and when he's not. You're trying to discern, you're trying to figure it out. The fact you got to sit back and realize is that the man is trying to bring you in. Always sit back and look at the pathway that you're walking. Because when he's trying to do that stuff with you, that means it's stuff he's trying to show you as you go along. Stuff to get up out of you too. Stuff to strengthen in you that's in you that is actually good and for his will and for his purpose. Come be honest with you. Yahuwah don't even communicate with people he don't deal with or people he don't love unless it's a snare and a trap for your destruction. Then you're going to have to sit back and look at your behavior and the fruits that you manifested. Because you know if your behavior and your lifestyle don't match up with something that he would destroy, or you know that you actually believe in earnest, then you know that's not the cause. He only did that to people in the word that he knew didn't want to follow him and obey him, and those that didn't believe in him. So that's when you examine your own heart. If you know in your own heart that your desire is to believe and to serve your Elohim, then you know whatever it is for your good. It's not for your detriment. You got to know that. Examine your own heart. If you know, I told you that niggas know when they wicked. Niggas know they wicked now. Don't let a nigga tell you now. Niggas know they wicked now. An unbelieving heart is wicked now. If you know you got to believe in heart, like I told you, just quiet your mind and be still. That's all you got to do. Just quiet your mind and be still. James chapter 5. Chapter 4, actually. Oh, boy. 4 and 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Elohim? We can't commune with the world. We can't be friends with these people. If man say, love not the world, neither things that are in the world, for the love of the world and the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is of the world. He that loved the world, the love of Abba is not in them. He say, I know you. The love of Elohim is not in you. You see, we hear stuff like that. You hear it read. You read it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hope y'all read for yourself. I meant to touch on that this evening, but I ain't get around to it. Y'all really, 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 really need to start reading this book a lot more than you do. One of the key points, if you want this word imprinted in your heart, you need to read it. You need to read it. When you read it, along with hearing it, it'll get in your heart. It'll be imprinted in you, man. But you got to read it, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about necessarily reading it, looking to pull a precept up to figure out if this the master. None of that there. I'm just talking about eat the roll. Eat the roll. When you eat the roll like Ezekiel ate the roll, when you eat the roll, I could be mentioning stuff. I could mention some. I could say book without telling you where it's at, and you gonna know that was book, and you may even know where it's at because you've been eating the roll. Now, not for the women, but for the men, you'll start talking, and book will be coming out your mouth, and you don't even know it's coming out your mouth because you done ate the roll. Y'all need to eat the roll. It's going to be sweet to your belly. Just like Ezekiel said. Just like he told Ezekiel, I should say. Eat the roll. Ain't none of y'all that busy that you ain't got time to read the words of your Elohim or pray. I ain't put that in the group chat for nothing. If you that busy, you way busier than what Elohim had intended. Ain't nobody that busy they can't eat this roll and pray to their Elohim. You ain't that busy. Cause I guarantee you find time to do many, many other things. You can find time to eat the roll. Do y'all hear me? I'm talking about, y'all want y'all to hear me. Feel me on that, man. Eat the roll. I wouldn't care if it wasn't up but 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day equals up to 2 hours and 10 minutes a week. Or 210 minutes. What is it? Yeah, about 3 hours. About 3 hours. 3 hours is a lot of reading for scripture considering it's so much information contained in this book. Just think about that. If you read this book for 30 minutes every day of the week, 210 minutes, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? 14 hours a month. Minimum. 14 hours. You know what I'm saying? See, Lil Muffin asked me to do what was I looking for? Suggested I should do something just to see if y'all would go read. But see, I ain't really want to do that there. Because if somebody popped up and they hadn't read, I probably snap harder than some of your teachers did in school. Hold on, y'all. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Who is this?
Mr. Wayne, you might have called that number, that 290 number.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. For real though, man, I might just use Lil Muffin's suggestion. And I'm telling you too, and I ain't gonna say it over the phone, I'm gonna put it in the group chat. So if you don't see it, that's on you. You know what I'm talking about? And you ain't gonna know when I drop it. I will tell you the day of the week that I'll drop it. I'll drop it on day 1. I'll tell you that much. I'll drop it on day 1. And when I drop it on day 1, what's to be read? I'm going to know who been reading or not when we get to day 7. Because I'm going to ask about it face to face. I just might take Lil Muffin up on her suggestion. All I'm telling you is, it's going to be in a group chat, and you don't know when it's going to be there, and you don't know when I'm going to drop it. So that's on you if you miss it. Because y'all going to start reading one way or another. I promise that. He said, do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the Ruach that dwell in us lust to envy, but he give more grace? Wherefore he saith, Elohim resist the proud, but give favor unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. We have to sit back and realize, just like the master, he humbled himself under death, the Father lifted him up. We have to realize that proud look, that's the son of Belial. That's not the son of Elohim. I also want that to be known too, that nobody is exempt too. Males, females, everybody. I'm talking about if your children can read, they need to read too. Let's look at something else. Let's go back to let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 13. I got the Hebrew spelling for Belial. I'm going to get to it in a minute. And we hold in Leviticus chapter 2 verse 4. about 10:36. Deuteronomy 13. Let's look at another thing the son of Belial will do. This is why he told you not to fool with these people. Deuteronomy 13 and 13. Make it 9. Matter of fact, make it 7. And then after that, 1 Samuel 2 and 10. First Samuel 2 and 10 behind that. Boy. Deuteronomy 13 and 7. Namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far from thee, from the one end of the Arats, even unto the other end of the Arats. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. But thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. Now let's understand something, right? Now this man is telling you here in the Torah about if somebody come to entice you to follow the gods of the land of the people. Well, Paul told you in Philippians chapter 3 that their God is their belly, they mind earthly things. You have to sit back and look at something. You got to be careful of people, sons of Belial, that come to tell you to serve your own lust and do what you want to do. That's Philippians 3 in verses 18 to 20 that I'm referencing. That God is their belly, they mind earthly things, who end is their destruction. Because remember, he said that they serve other gods from one end of the earth even unto the other. See, they mind earthly things. Because the gods of this world are nothing but the works of men's hands. They're earthly things. They worship the creation more than the creator. You understand what I'm saying? So he said you shouldn't spare him nor conceal him. That goes back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago, that you reprove the unfruitful works of darkness. Because that which make light make manifest. You ain't supposed to cover that up. You're supposed to expose that. He said you're supposed to be the first one to expose it. But niggas get mad when you expose their wicked works. That's why they kill you. That's why they kill you. They blame you for it. How could you do that? How could you say that? Well, that's the nigga. That nigga the one wicked, nigga. You supposed to expose the nigga. You the one sinning. He telling you to go after another God now. Verse 10, thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust you away from Yahuwah, the Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage. You supposed to get them wicked people from around you. They trying to get you to stop following Yahuwah. And all Yasharal shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. It's wicked to go after another God. So your God being your belly and for you to go after your own lust, you wicked. This also going to go something else in the law that I'm going to go ahead and hit, since I said I wanted to hit it Wednesday, but I ain't get it. I got it right now though. And if they shall hear, say in one of thy cities which Yahuwah thy Elohim have given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which you have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing certain that such an abomination is wrought among you, it is offensive for somebody to go after another God. That is an abomination. That is utterly detestable. So when you're dealing with people who are enticing you to serve the God of your own belly, that is an abomination. I guess I got to read Philippians 3 just to make it official. Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. So guess what it is? We already read what the sword is. The sword is the word of Elohim. The word of Elohim is sharper than a two-edged sword, dividing asunder. So guess what you're supposed to do with an old wicked son of Belial who enticing somebody to go after their own flesh and to go after other gods? Cut them up with the word, nigga. Slice them up with the word. Utterly destroy them with the word. And condemn their behavior with the word. Because we can't kill you with the sword now. So we got to cut you with the word. That maybe when you hear, you'll fall down on your knees and say as a truth, Yahuwah is the living Elohim and he is in that man. And I'm going to read that 1 Corinthians chapter 14, just so you know that I'm just saying what's in the book. Philippians 3 and 18. I don't want nobody to think I'm just speaking on my own volition. I want you to know that's in the book. Right after we read Philippians 3 and 18, we'll read 1 Corinthians 14, just so you know it's in the book. That's why they say, oh, you go by what that book say. Yeah, I go by what the book say, nigga. I believe this man on the strength of his word. So I ain't going by what the book say. I'm going by what Yahuwah say. It'd be no different if he just sat there and he was just kicking it with me, talking to me. Put me up on game. Like Pop say, what did he say to him about? There's 10 rules to the game, but I share with you 2. Say no niggas gonna hate you for whatever you do. Now we sit back and say rule 1 is get your cash on. So we sit back and look at, we know what cash is for us. That's gold tried in the fire that we might be rich, durable riches of righteousness that come from the faith of Yahuwah Elohim. Not trying to mix the West man word with it, but for us, we know what that means. We're putting our riches first. And even the book tell you, keep your enemies close, nigga. You better watch your homies. He said, it seemed a little unimportant when he told me I smiled. Picture jewels being handed to an innocent child. I never knew in my lifetime I lived by these rules. So we sit back and look at the word as if Yahuwah by Hashem Yahushua was sitting right there putting us up on game as a child. Because we sit back and look at when we come in the word, we babes. He giving us the rules to the game. Now we sit back looking at, we live by these rules. We know how to play the game now. That's how you're supposed to look at it. This allow you to know how to play the game of life. You know how to play the game now. You know how to move now. Philippians 3 and 18. For many walk, of whom I've told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the stake of Mashiach, whose end is destruction, who Elohim is their belly, whose esteem is in their shame, who mind earthly things. Well, the sinners will entice you to go, it ain't no big deal. You can go do this over here. That man say that nigga ought to be cut to pieces. Destroyed. Utterly. Dude said it to my, little Stanley told me today, it's funny to me. He said that Muslim dude that we talked to a couple weeks back, say he done got with some of his Muslim homeboys, and they just putting together a presentation. They like, oh, we gonna kill them niggas. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? All that damn the third. And I'm like this here, right? A nigga ain't even been thinking about them niggas. A nigga ain't been looking at nothing about Islam to destroy them niggas. Because we going to destroy Islam on 3 points. Number 1, you niggas hump sheep. That's over with right there. You niggas are sheep humpers. Your prophet married a 9-year-old girl, so you niggas pedophiles. Oh, my bad. Your prophet ain't even a prophet. Your own book say so.
Surah 29 verse 26.
Nigga ain't even studying that. You know what I mean? Like a nigga ain't even thought about bean pie. Nigga ain't even thought about this nigga.
That's what it said today. They was like, oh yeah, boy, they put us in a group, boy, they gonna slay y'all, they gonna kill y'all doctors.
I'm going to tell y'all something too. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this right now. Don't think that I'm not going to let y'all get off. But y'all got to sit back and hold your peace. I'll let y'all know when y'all can come in. But I'm going to handle them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to handle them niggas. I'm going to handle them niggas. And when I finish handling them niggas, it ain't going to take me long to handle them niggas. That's right, on general principle. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to let y'all get off. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all going to be ready. I know y'all going to be champing at the bit to bite them niggas. You know what I'm saying? But just chill. I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. It's a technique of war that I'm doing. I ain't going to explain the technique all the way to you. You'll be able to see the technique while I'm doing it, if you're paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And when I get finished, it'll be easy for you to kill them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been to knock them niggas down so decent. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna take me but about 12 to 13 minutes, if that. Come over here to 1 Corinthians 14. And I ain't saying that out of no arrogance, no pride. I studied Islam for 14 years. It ain't nothing for me to cut that to pieces. That's why I say that. Like I told that dude we was on the phone with the other day, before I started dealing with this word, I pretty much studied every religion known to man. It ain't too many religions I ain't read about. So when you come with some stupidity, I know where it come from. I'm familiar with it. Theosophy, Egyptian Book of the Dead, whatever you want, nigga. I know all that stuff, man. I'm talking about that thing straight swill can. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. What verse it is that I want? 1 Corinthians 14, probably about 20. See if that's what I want. I gotta switch. See, I got this other book Dwight gave me, man. But you know when you don't know that you ain't used the book yet. You don't know how to move around it, so you don't like using it. So you gotta look for stuff too long till you start using it, which means I gotta get a highlighter. That's how you learn to start getting used to it. I don't know this dude. Brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. That means to be fully grown in a full age. That's why we be teaching you Mashiach, so you can, in understanding, you can be a grown man and not a baby. And also about maliciousness, not to deal with things in maliciousness. Because I understood what Lil Stanley took off on, bruh, but at the same token, you don't want a nigga, see that nigga was letting your good be evil spoken of because how he was talking greasy. You know what I'm saying? We knew why you were mad and why you were taking off. Sometimes you can't take off on a nigga like that because that give him room. And that's all that nigga wanted. But that nigga wicked though. You would have seen some of the fake. I'm going to leave that alone. I've been got myself agitated. He says, in the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. Yet for all that they will not hear me, saith Yahuwah. And don't you see how this man called Isaiah the law? Because that was an instruction he gave. Because he quoting Isaiah. That's not the law. But yet it is the law. Wherefore tongues are for sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying serve not for them that believe not, but for them which believe. Don't you realize that when we prophesy, the testimony of Yahusha is the Ruach of prophecy, that we preach that because that's for y'all who believe? That's for y'all who believe. I wouldn't necessarily preach Mashiach to those that believe not, even though we do, but it'd be high to be brought. That's for y'all that believe. If therefore the whole body be come together in one place and all speak with tongues, and there come in those that are unlearned or unbelievers, will they not say that ye are mad? But if all prophesy, they come in one, and there come in one that believe not, or one unlearned, he is convinced of all, he is judged of all. And thus are the secrets of his heart made manifest. And so falling down on his face, he will worship Elohim and report that Elohim is in you of a truth. That's why he say, take that sword and utterly destroy him. Take that word and slash him to pieces with it, that he might fall down and worship Elohim and say of a truth, the word is in you. Huh? No concealing, no sparing. That's the law. That's the law. But nigga wants you to conceal and spare because they wicked. Don't expose him. Don't do that. That ain't right. Man, screw that nigga. Wicked bastard. You know what I'm saying? Screw him. Screw him. That's how you supposed to look at it. We'll look at one more thing with the son. Let me read these Hebrew characters for Belial before I forget about it. Leviticus 2 and 1. We'll be looking at Leviticus chapter 1 and 2 on the morrow along with Leviticus 21. I can tell you that much. Because we started Leviticus 21, but we didn't go through them words. So we're going to come back on the morrow, most high willing, he spare all our lives, and complete that. The first character we have is the Bat. And we know that is the house. And then we have the Lamar. And we know that's the teach. And we have the Yod, which we know that's the hand. And then we have the on, which I can't recall what it is. What that on mean, Troy? Escapes my brain. mean I? You said I?
Yeah.
So basically Belial is a house that teaches the hand or the eye, or teaches you to be able to see. So what would you be able to see? The difference between wickedness and right. Absolutely. The difference between good and evil. The difference between good and evil. After we read Leviticus 2 and 1, we'll look at 1 John 3 and 7. A son of Belial is supposed to be able to let you know where you can determine who's righteous and who's not. That's what. And get your Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. Matthew 7 and 14, after 1 John 3 and 7, which is after Leviticus 2 and 1. He said, when any will offer a meat offering unto Yahuwah, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. He shall bring it to Aaron the priest, sons the priest, and he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar to be an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most kadesh of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. And if thou bring in the oblation of a meat offering, bake it in oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And in particular, that Hebrew word for mingled is Belial. It means to mix, to mingle, to confuse, or to mix oneself. So when we turn around and we look at to mix oneself, we already started that when we looked at the wheats and the tares. They had to mix themselves. They had to mix themselves amongst the people. You understand? They had to mix themselves among the people. Just like that mixed multitude. Because we know something about those that came up out of Mizraim. And we're just going to look at it in the epistle letters because we don't have time. But they mixed themselves among the people. Everybody that came up out of Mizraim wasn't right. Everybody that came up out of Mizraim didn't believe. 1 John 3 and 7. Oh boy. 1 John 3 and 7. Make it 3 and 6. It's all right. Whosoever abide in him sin not, and whosoever sin have not seen him, neither known him. Little children, let no man deceive you. Who that do righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that commits sin is of the devil, for the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of Elohim was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Whosoever is born of Elohim doth not commit sin, for his seed remain in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of Elohim. In this the children of Elohim are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever do not righteousness is not of Elohim, neither he that love not his brother. So we see the sons of Belial and their worthlessness will make manifest with it will teach you what's right. You can discern between good and evil through the sons of Belial. Matthew 7 and 12. If that makes some sense. Because we're looking at it right. It's the house that teaches the hand by the eye. It teaches you to see good and evil. Oh yeah, I wanted 1 Samuel chapter 2 because this is a part of that deck. I'm finna wrap it up. But what we're looking at is that people be mixed together. And everybody don't have faith, and everybody don't believe, and everybody's not getting in. Because they've mingled themselves. They're confused. He said they have confusion of faces. Why do they have confusion of faces? Because they're not a Kadeshim, because they don't believe the book.